In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to generate consistent leads from YouTube in 2025. This is a full-length YouTube lead generation course for free. And this is the exact process that we've used to generate hundreds of thousands of dollars for countless business owners using our YouTube to clients content funnel system. To mention a few, Kai Promo went from 17K to 75K MRR with our help on his channel. Kiwa made 13K in the first 7 days from YouTube. And Dennis Shutlin got a 10K deal from YouTube in under 60 days. And this isn't going to be your basic just post consistently YouTube video. I'm going to be showing you exactly how to turn your YouTube channel into a lead generation machine so you can easily stop relying on outbound sales and time-consuming marketing tactics. This video will show you the exact step-by-step process you need to follow so you never have to watch another video on how to get clients from YouTube again. Let's get into it. So firstly, who is this course for? If you're an agency owner looking to attract higher quality clients, this is for you. If you're a coach or consultant and tired of constant outbound prospecting, this is for you. If you're an info product seller who wants a scalable lead generation system, or really any B2B business selling high ticket, this course is specifically designed for you. Now let's address the reality of YouTube for businesses in 2025. One of the biggest misconceptions I see that people think is that you need millions of views to make money from YouTube, and that's just not true, especially in B2B space. I have clients who are averaging just 1 to 5K views per video and are making 6 figures monthly. And why is that? Because vanity metrics don't matter. The goal is attracting quality leads that actually convert into real business. And that's the key difference between creators who make entertaining content and business owners who use YouTube strategically. So let's start with why most B2B businesses fail on YouTube. And I'll give you a hint. It's not about video quality. The number one reason why businesses fail on YouTube is the misalignment between their content and what their clients actually need. So I see businesses investing thousands in fancy cameras, fancy lighting, and editing software, thinking that production value is what actually drives results. But the truth is, it's just not. I've seen businesses with iPhone videos and basic editing outperform those with professional setups because their message actually resonated deeply with their audience. And another common mistake is focusing on follow count. Having 100,000 subscribers means absolutely nothing if they're the wrong audience. I'd way rather have 1,000 subscribers who are all potential clients than 100,000 who will never buy from me. What's critical is having an offer that solves a specific high value problem. So let me walk you through how to identify your client's most expensive problems. The key is to look for problems that directly impact revenue or create significant pain. Generic services like "I'll help you grow your business" don't convert to YouTube because they don't target a specific problem. So before you invest heavily in YouTube content, validate your offer with existing clients. Test your messaging with 5 to 10 people who actually fit your ICP, ideal customer profile. If they're not willing to pay for it in a direct conversation, they definitely won't convert from a YouTube video. Now let's talk about the 2 core objections you must overcome in your YouTube content. Objection 1 is selling your audience on your mechanism or business model. People need to believe that your approach actually works before they're going to invest into it. Objection 2 is selling your audience on you as the expert. They need to trust that you specifically can deliver the results that they actually want. Your content needs to address both of these objections, which leads us to understanding market awareness levels. For the least aware audience, they don't even know about your opportunity. They need education about the problem and the solution. For the moderately aware, they know about the problem but need specific tactics to solve it. And for the most aware, they're already deep in the service looking for specific solutions to optimize their results. So your content strategy needs to address all 3 levels, which we'll cover in detail shortly. But before we actually get into tactical stuff, we need to establish the foundation that everything else will build upon: your audience avatar. This isn't just basic demographics. We're actually going to deep dive into psychographics because that's where the real gold is. Step 1 is competitor research. So first, research top competitors thoroughly. I want you to identify at least 10 channels in your niche. And don't just look at the big ones, look at the ones that are actually generating leads and clients. Study their most popular videos and look for patterns. What topics consistently perform well? What topics do they use? Is it interviews, tutorials, case studies, or is it something else? Because finding these channels are going to allow you to see strategies that are working right now in the algorithm. So you can use tools like vidIQ to identify outliers, videos that are basically getting 10x their regular views, and actually look at the metrics they're highlighting in their thumbnails, their titles. Are they focusing on revenue numbers, timeframes, or specific results? Because this will tell you what their audience, which is likely going to be your audience too, actually cares about. Next, identify both demographics and psychographics of your ideal client. Demographics are the basics like age, gender, location, income level. Now, this is necessary, but obviously not enough information, because the real gold is in psychographics: their pains, desires, fears, and motivators. What keeps them up at night? What are they aspiring to? What are they afraid of losing or missing out on? Now, the next step is discovering where your ideal client profile, or ICP, actually spends time online. What social media platforms are they active on? What forums or communities do they participate in? Is it Reddit, LinkedIn groups, Facebook groups, Discord servers? Wherever they are, you want to find them and observe them. And you can pay attention to specific questions that they're asking. And these questions are going to be great content ideas. And then also note what kind of content they are consuming. So what books, what podcasts, what other YouTube channels and blogs do they reference whenever they are speaking in these forums? Because the language and the terminology they use is also crucial. You want to speak their language in your videos, not industry jargon that they don't understand themselves or even use. Also identify who the influencers are who already have a following and a trust. And now finally, once you know all this information, it's time to reverse engineer all these insights into video ideas. The framework I use is simple but powerful, because you want to transform the pains and fears into video topics and use desires and motivators as stories within those videos. I'll use my own channel as an example. A common pain point for coaches and agency owners is actually getting clients from their YouTube videos. They put out videos but get no results. Because not just views matter, it needs to translate into getting clients. So I can create, therefore, a video titled How to Actually Get Clients from YouTube in 2025. Then within that video, I tell stories that address their desire for generating leads on autopilot with their content, getting authority, or anything else that actually motivates them. And I recommend creating a spreadsheet where you map off every single pain point to a potential video solution, because this alone can give you content ideas for months or even years. Now, let's talk about how to position yourself uniquely in the marketplace, because the worst thing you can do is just copy what your competitors are doing. You need to find your unique angle. Study what's working right now, and especially what's not working in your niche. Look for opportunity gaps that others are missing. And most importantly, create a contrast between your content and others, because you need to give people a reason to watch you specifically instead of, all your other competitors. So there are two prime ways to actually create outlier content that stands out. So firstly, what you can do is take proven concepts and execute them better than everyone else. And there are obviously a ton of topics that have been covered countless times, but by executing it better and adding unique elements to that video, like whatever it is, a template, a framework, simplifying the language to a foot greater level for clarity, and actually structuring it more effectively, you can make any video outperform the others. And then the second approach is to find unfilled market gaps and be the first one to fill them. And for this, you'll need to be extremely tapped into the market, and you need to be constantly monitoring what's working, monitoring keyword search volume and your competitors. And a concept from the startup board that applies perfectly to YouTube is understanding your TAM, aka total addressable market. And basically this is everyone that you can actually help with your services. And knowing this metric is going to allow you to actually plan and have an understanding of how many people you should be reaching with your videos. And then finally, there's SOM, meaning serviceable, obtainable market. And these are the people that are actively looking to buy what you offer right now. And finding your sweet spot between them is creating videos that are broad enough to reach many people, but specific enough to attract qualified buyers. So for example, get clients online is extremely broad, huge TAM, but very low conversion rate. YouTube funnel instead is more specific to a smaller audience, but high intent. So how to get clients from YouTube is very specific, smaller audience, but highest buyer intent. And broad isn't always better. One mistake I see people, always doing is thinking broader content is always better. But when you're broad, you're speaking to no one. When you're too specific, you're limiting your reach. So the goal here is to find the balance or something called niche virality. Content that can reach a significant audience while still attracting qualified viewers. You also need to consider market sophistication, because the type of content you create for B2C will never be the same as B2B. Is the concept you're presenting still fresh, or is your audience seen it 100 times already? The more sophisticated the market, the more you need to innovate rather than regurgitate. Now let's break down the exact content strategy that generates leads. And I call this the YouTube to clients content framework, and it's being responsible for generating hundreds of thousands in revenue for our clients. 3-step funnel content framework works like this. The first part is top of funnel content. This is broad content with a larger TAM that attracts a wide audience, And examples like this are stuff like Imangaji used to create 5 morning habits of a 7-figure agency owner, why most B2B businesses fail in the first 2 years and how to avoid it, how I went broke to a millionaire in 6 months, my story. The purpose of this content is awareness and reach, and it's designed to get new eyeballs on your channel. A strategy that works exceptionally well here is what I call name jacking. Basically leveraging known brands or people in your industry. And this doesn't mean being unethical, it just means creating response videos to trending industry content, using comparison content without creating enemies, and just ethically referencing people who are big in your industry. So for example, instead of just titling your video, how to create better YouTube videos, you might title it Alex Hormozi's new advice on YouTube. And this is exactly what I did, because this immediately leverages their audience and credibility. So another great tactic you can use is creating trending topic videos. So you can use tools like Google Trends and exploding topics to identify rising topics in your industry, and then connect those topics to your core expertise. And when it comes to YouTube SEO, keyword research is obviously crucial. You can use tools like vidIQ and TubeBuddy to find keywords with high search volume and low competition. The ideal keyword density in titles, descriptions, and tags is around 2 to 3%, because this is enough to signal relevance without keyword stuffing. Understanding the suggested videos algorithm is also crucial. So YouTube rewards videos that viewers of similar content want to watch next. So study the suggested video columns of popular videos in your niche and create content that could logically follow those videos. And as for video length, there is no one-size-fits-all answer. For discovery content aimed at new viewers, 8 to 15 minutes tends to be the sweet spot for new channel growth. But always let the topic dictate the length, so some topics might need 30 minutes to cover properly, while others can literally be done in 5. The second part of our content framework is the middle of funnel content. So this is more specific to your niche and focuses on consideration and education. So examples include the new way to get SMMA clients in 2025. 7 B2B lead qualification questions that save you hundreds of hours of wasted sales calls. 5 lead generation strategies for coaches that still work. For education videos that build trust and credibility, I recommend using the problem, solution, result framework. Start by clearly defining the problem and then present your solution. And then finally show the results that the solution can achieve, ideally with real examples. So when using data and research, don't just throw numbers at people. Contextualize what those numbers mean and why they matter. Balance tactical advice, the how, with strategic insights, the why. And one question I get a lot is, how do you actually show your expertise without getting everything away? The answer is what I call the strategic completeness model. Show your process while protecting your proprietary elements. Show them the why, but hold back some of the detailed how. Use client examples to illustrate concepts without giving away their specific strategies. This shows real-world application while maintaining your intellectual property. Next, create content playlists, because this is another powerful tactic for keeping viewers engaged. So you can organize your videos into topic-based playlists that guide your viewer journey. So for B2B audiences, 5 to 7 videos per playlist tends to be optimal, enough to provide comprehensive coverage without actually overwhelming them. The order of videos within the playlist actually matters a lot. So you want to start with the foundational concepts, then build to more advanced topics. Each video should naturally lead to the next, so that they are learning everything in the order that goes from basic to advanced. You then want to set up a bridge strategy for bridging people and directing them from the awareness content to the educational and selling videos. And you can do this by referencing the actual videos you want to direct them to in the video itself. And you can utilize things like cards and end screens and actual CTAs so that they actually bridge from video to video. And the ideal split between educational and solution-focused content is roughly 3 to 1. 3 purely educational videos for every 1 that mentions your offer. And the third part of our framework is bottom of funnel content. This is very specific to your offer and focuses on conversion and decision. So the first type of content is case study breakdowns and client interviews. So for my channels, examples like that would be how Kua made 13K in the first 7 days from YouTube, how Kai collected 20K from his YouTube channel. And for these, you want to use the before and after storytelling format. Show where they were before working with you, what the process was like, and the result they achieved. Because this creates a compelling narrative arc. And a couple metrics you want to actually focus on in the transformation are things like revenue, which is kind of obvious, but also consider things like time saved, stress reduced, and team size, etc. And when interviewing clients for testimonials, ask questions that will give you actually good responses. Questions like, what were you skeptical about before working with us? And what would you tell anyone who's on the fence about working with us? because these get much stronger testimonials than generic questions, right? And structure these testimonials around objections your prospects actually have. So if price is a common objection, make sure some of the testimonials address the ROI, return on investment. And the next piece of content you want to make is a YouTube VSL, or video sales letter. And this requires a specific structure. The 7-part VSL structure that works specifically for B2B is, firstly, attention-grabbing hook, problem identification, solution introduction, credibility building, offer presentation, objection handling, and then lastly, a call to action. And when presenting pricing and offers, don't apologize or be awkward about it. Present it confidently as an investment, not a cost. And weave objection handling throughout the video rather than addressing all the objections at the end. You can create urgency without manipulative tactics by focusing on opportunity cost, not false scarcity. What are they using by not taking action now? How much longer will they struggle with the problem that you solve? And for call to actions, always place CTAs after providing a lot of value. Never ask before you've given. And you want to place CTAs in multiple locations. So firstly, the top of the description, for those who don't actually watch the full video, the pinned comment, so this is easy to update and adjust, and basically a third way through the video for those who might not even finish the video. And then lastly, at the end of the video for your most engaged viewers. And alternate between small ask, like subscribe, like comment, and big asks, like book a call, join a webinar, because this builds a habit of saying yes before the big commitment. And when it comes to selling, focus on implementation, not information. People know the information is free. They can get it anywhere. What they're willing to pay for is the accountability, the community, the systems, and the direct access to your expertise. So a powerful phrase you can use is, you have everything for free on my channel. But if you want implementation, help, and results faster, here's how we can work together. The next thing is your video packaging, specifically titles and thumbnails. So your titles and thumbnails work hand in hand as your first impression, and they matter more than most people realize. In fact, they're often more important than the video content itself when it comes to actually getting views. So to find proven title structures and titles, study the top videos from your competitors in your niche. Break down their title patterns. Look for similarities, because these are the titles that are actually performing well. Some proven title format templates that I'll let you in on, and these consistently work. The first one is the full course style video, kind of like this one. And basically what you're saying is how to build / create / start business model in year. So how to build a SMMA in 2025. X years of industry experience in Y minutes. I made X amount with this business model. The new way to achieve this certain result in 2025. And watch me do task. And another one is how I achieved result at age / time frame. So this could be how I hit 50K per month at 19 years old. Basically, you want to use your competitive advantages in these titles. And in terms of the thumbnails, the psychology behind high TTR thumbnails for B2B audiences is actually quite interesting. So firstly, understand that corporate looking thumbnails kill click-through rates. Nobody clicks on stock photos of people in suits shaking hands. Instead, the 3 elements every B2B thumbnail needs are a human element, preferably showing emotion, clear text that complements the title, not repeating it, and visual contrast that makes it stand out. Color psychology also matters. Blue conveys trust and professionalism, while red creates urgency and yellow captures attention. So use these strategically based on the emotion you want to evoke. And for A/B testing, create 2 to 3 thumbnail variations for the most important videos. And the YouTube Studio allows you to actually automatically test different thumbnails without hurting the algorithm. But just keep in mind that the minimum viable test duration is 48 to 72 hours to actually get any meaningful data. Next, create a tracking system for thumbnail performance and note which styles, colors, expressions, and text actually get you the highest CTR, and then double down on what works. And for thumbnail inspiration, look beyond your direct competitors. Study what's working in adjacent niches. So ways you can do this is looking at the YouTube homepage, especially videos that actually catch your eye. Popular entertainment creators, because they're the master of getting clicks, like someone like Mr. Beast, and YouTube search results for your target keywords. Some best practices for thumbnails generally include less is more. Don't overcrowd with too many elements. Next, create contrast with colors that pop against each other. And use 3 elements or less, because any more creates confusion. Make the thumbnail ask a question that the title answers, and include elements relatable to your niche, so tools, symbols, etc. And just be effective, not fancy, because clarity beats creativity every single time. And when creating title and thumbnail combinations, use the curiosity gap technique. Your thumbnail should create the question that your title partially answers, making people need to click the video to get the full story. And avoid redundancy between title and thumbnail. If your title says something like 5 ways to generate leads, don't repeat 5 ways in the thumbnail. Instead, highlight one compelling method or end result. Generally, put specific numbers and credentials in the title and emotional triggers or visual elements in the thumbnail. And understanding outliers versus format fatigue is also crucial. So when you see a wildly successful video, simply ask yourself, is the creator's face or reputation getting the clicks, or is it the format? Is the concept still fresh, or is the market seen it too many times? Is their target audience significantly different than yours? Because these answers to these questions will help you decide whether the video is actually worth creating. Now, let's talk about how to actually write and structure your videos for maximum retention and conversions. The reality of the consumer mind in 2025 is you just have 15 to 30 seconds to actually hook your viewers in before they click away. You must deliver on your title/thumbnail promise immediately or you'll lose them. So we use a 3-part hook formula that works incredibly well. First, target audience identification plus credibility. You want to call out exactly who the video is for, establish why you're qualified to teach them. So here's an example. If you're an SMMA owner struggling to get clients, this video is for you. At 20, I'm making 50K per month from my SMMA and I close 5 clients per month. Second, set clear expectations. Outline what they'll learn and deliver on the title and thumbnail promise. For example, in this video, I'll walk you through exactly how I did it, step by step, so you can do the same. Third, create stakes. Give them a compelling reason to watch till the end by promising a specific outcome. For example, if you stick around until the end, I'll give you the exact outreach strategy I used to book 5 calls per day for my agency. The 3-part hook formula works across virtually every niche and topic. One of the most powerful advanced techniques is showing versus telling. Instead of telling your viewers something like this, SMMA is so easy, anyone can do it. Show them by saying, at 20, I'm making 50K per month from my SMMA and I close 5 clients per month with 0 experience. Showing is always more powerful and believable than storytelling. And next, use open loops and side questing to maintain interest throughout your video. An open loop is basically when you introduce something interesting, but don't immediately resolve it. And side questing is when you take a brief detour from the main story to give a related story or example before actually returning to your main point. And the key is to lead viewers through multiple payoffs rather than having one big reveal at the end. So you can use questions, stories, metaphors to always maintain interest throughout the whole video. And for each major section of your video, use this 3-part structure. Firstly, setup. Introduce what you want to talk about. Tell a story that builds tension or presents a problem. And then resolution. Deliver the lesson or insight that resolves the tension. Next, I want to talk about video structure based on the type of content. So different types of videos require different structures. For how-to videos, use chronological steps with supporting points, present each step, explain why it matters and show an example. Address common pitfalls and then move on to the next step. For life story videos, use this structure. Flash forward to an impressive result, then go back to early life and struggles, show the moment of discovery, detail the growth journey, and finally return to the present day of success. And for VSL videos, explain the opportunity first, then clarify who it's for, and explain what makes your approach different. Next, provide social proof, and then present options for actually working with you. So if you're struggling with content ideation for any of these types of content, you can always tap into misconceptions and mistakes in your industry. Use audience feedback from comments, DMs, and emails, and then just keep a swipe file of performing content that you can always adapt to your niche. Document your own mistakes and learnings, because people love to learn from others' failures as much as their successes. So focus on how I instead of how to content whenever possible. How I booked 50 calls in 1 week is much better than how to book 50 calls in 1 week. People want to see real examples, not just theoretical advice. The next part to creating effective videos is understanding rhetoric and psychology. So subtle psychology tactics like these actually work incredibly well. If college dropouts are making millions of dollars from home, so can you. This makes it seem more accessible for anyone. I had 0 tech skills and still built a software business from scratch. What this does is it overcomes objections about ability to actually do it. All you need is a laptop and Wi-Fi connection. What this does is it lowers the barrier to entry. These videos are essentially direct response copy in disguise. The same principles that work in sales letters work in videos. And reference relatable stories and examples that help viewers see themselves in the situation. Now, something like the raw, unscripted videos can work extremely well if you're naturally good on camera, but for most people, you're going to benefit from at least some sort of outline. And word choice and messaging should also match your audience. So for a younger audience, 18 to 25, words like easy, fast, simple, brain dead, rich tend to resonate. For a mature audience, words like consistent, straightforward, low risk, repeatable, and wealthy work better. And be intentional with every word, reference, and idiom you actually use. They all send subtle signals about who you are and about who your content's for. For example, Esma made content for 16 to 25-year-olds might use casual, unserious tones and focus on get-rich-quick messaging and referencing, bad jobs or college debt, because this is what people relate to. In contrast, business acquisition content for 30-plus-year-olds would use a more serious tone, focus on family and legacy, emphasize long-term wealth building, and reference, something like corporate experiments. Now let's talk about how to optimize your channel or convert viewers into leads and actually clients. The first thing is your channel branding. So your channel banner is prime real estate that many businesses on YouTube waste. The 5 elements for every B2B channel banner needs are: firstly, a clear value proposition, what you help people achieve, your target audience identifier, who you serve, a credibility marker, your result experience, certification, and a visual representation of your niche/industry, and a clear next step or CTA. And incorporate social proof elements like logos or companies you've worked with, media features, or just impressive metrics. And use visual hierarchy to ensure the most important information stands out first. Next is your about section. It should convert channel visitors and not just inform them. So the perfect about section formula is this: have a hook sentence that addresses the pain point, what you do and who you help, be very specific, your unique approach or methodology, credentials and results, call to action with link. Strategic link placements are actually very crucial, so put your most important link first, since many won't even read the entire description. And use keyword phrases that your ideal clients would search to improve your discoverability. And for your channel trailer, keep it under 90 seconds for first-time visitors, and create content that qualifies viewers rather than trying to please everyone. It's better to turn away non-ideal viewers early on. Include clear next steps for new subscribers, which can be videos to watch next or free resources to download. And organize your playlist in topic clusters that guide viewer journeys from basic to advanced topics. And name your playlist something like Client Acquisition Masterclass rather than just marketing videos. And also include strategic playlist descriptions with keywords to improve the SEO so they can rank. Now I want to actually next cover the YouTube analytics that you should be monitoring and those that actually matter and will actually get you better results. Firstly, CTR or click-through rate. And you need to know from which traffic source they came from. So different sources have different baseline CTRs. Browse features, see 2 to 5% is good. For search, 5 to 10% is good. For suggested, 3 to 8% is good. Focus on these 3 traffic sources primarily, as they deliver the most targeted viewers. And there's no perfect CTR benchmark, as it kind of varies a lot based on channel and niche topic. What matters more is improvement over time and relative performance compared to your previous videos. So give videos at least 7 to 10 days to grow before actually making changes to titles or thumbnails. The algorithm does need enough time to actually find the right audience for your content. Next is maximizing your YouTube leverage. So to get the maximum ROI from these videos that you're making, you obviously want to have a good strategy for content distribution. So on Twitter, you can share short clips with their key points. On LinkedIn, I recommend post longer form content that expands on your video concepts. And then for email, send the video to your email list with additional exclusive insights. And then on Instagram, create carousel posts from the key video points, because this, what it does is creates a content flywheel effect. Because once this infrastructure is built, you'll have consistent content creation, feeding multiple platforms, and audience connection at scale. And even when you slow down on content creation, the leads keep coming in because your existing content continues to work for you 24/7 if it's SEO optimized correctly. This is what we call the evergreen effect. Next, let me share some advanced formats that work especially well for B2B on YouTube. So vlogs, but I don't just mean traditional lifestyle vlogs. Basically, you want to structure your vlogs around your avatar's dream outcome. So show portions dedicated to work, not just the lifestyle, and then record the intimate moments and conversation to give viewers basically a behind the scenes on what it's like. Because what this does is it humanizes you beyond just being another educator, right? And challenge videos are also incredibly effective. So live demonstration is always going to be more powerful than just, talking about something. So document the process. Like, if you're building a business from scratch in real time, this makes your content feel like a Netflix show, which viewers actually want to follow along. And this format works best when you already have some sort of authority in your space. So look, the information in this free course genuinely has the power to completely change how your business operates and how you generate leads. So I hope you went through all of this, got to the end with a bunch of notes, and actually got some value from it that you can take and implement into your channel. But at this point, basically, you have three options. Firstly, you can try and implement all of this yourself for your channel, spending the time, the money, and the headache of figuring out all of this step by step, and all of the problems you will 100% face if you're going to do this for the first time. Secondly, you can try build an in-house team to help you actually with it. You can try find a good channel strategist, script writer, thumbnail designer, editor, SEO specialist. But they're extremely hard to find, and even if you do, you'll need to manage all of them individually. You'll have to manage all the employee training, all the revisions, and with the amount of work it requires, it most likely will be a monumental headache. Or there's option 3. You can get help from a team that's generated hundreds of thousands of dollars for countless business owners with our proven use the client's playbook. Handles the entire YouTube content funnel system for you A to Z, so that all you have to do is record the videos, and on top of that, guarantees an extra 10 to 30 qualified calls booked per month, or you don't pay. And if we're being honest, if you are not already generating leads from YouTube, then you 100% need help. That's why what I want you to do is click the first link in the description where you can book a free strategy call with me. This is for you if you want to avoid doing all of this yourself and want a team of experts doing everything for you. So if that's you, click the link and book your free strategy call, and I'll speak to you soon. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more videos on lead generation for businesses using YouTube. Like the video, and I'll see you again soon.